Hi everyone, so today I'm going to share 8 things that I track in my planner. This was an idea voted on over in our Facebook group, and so I thought it would be fun to share how I track things in my planner, and then maybe you might get some ideas for your own tracking. So I thought I would go from front to back of my planner. So to start off with is my yearly overview. All of the inserts I'm going to show you are available over on our Etsy's printable shop. We do have some of them also available printed in our main shop, and I'll link everything down below. So our year overview is actually a freebie for our email list subscribers. So if you want to get this, then just sign up for our email list on our website, and then you can get this as a free download. So basically, this is just the overview of 2022, January through June, July through December. And what I use this for is for tracking my periods. So I don't know about you guys, but before, when I used to go to the doctor, they would say, when was the first day of your last period? And I just never had that information on hand. And so I found this helpful for that, but also for a few different reasons. So first, I wanted to explain the stickers I'm using here. So these circles, which are on transparent paper, which is a black outline circle, marks the first day of when my period is supposed to come. So this is April. The first day of my period should come on April 17th, but that's not always the case. As you can see in March, sometimes it's a couple days late, but I like to mark when the first day is just so I'm prepared. And then these transparent color dots mark each day of my period. So the reason I track this is not only for information to give to my doctor, but also I track my moods a lot. So like for a lot of us, my period affects my mood. And so let's say here, my period's supposed to start on April 17th. I know 2 weeks ahead of time is when the height of my PMSing is. Like either I'm super like irate, angry, or I'm really, really sad, like I could cry at any second. And so a lot of times if I feel like, why am I feeling so moody? Why am I feeling so angry? Why am I feeling so sad? If I look at the calendar to the day, it's 2 weeks before my period is supposed to start. So that's super helpful just for me because I do track my moods, just to know that information. But then also I try not to plan anything if it's within my control on the second or third day of my period, because that's when I'm totally trying to lay in bed all day. I'm out of commission. And so that's super helpful for me when I'm planning anything like socially or meetings or anything like that. So that's how I use it, but I know I've seen other people use it for tracking time off. So if you work, for a company and you need to track how much days off you're taking or vacation time or sick time, that would be a great way to use this calendar. You can use different colored dots for sick days, time off, vacation, and stuff like that. Another way that I've seen people use this type of calendar is to track any kind of health concerns they have. Like let's say for me, I often get headaches. So if it was at a alarming rate, I would probably mark it here. So when I go to the doctor, I can say, oh, I had this many headaches during this month, and so on. Another idea I had is for a school calendar. Like if you want a year at a glance idea of days off, school breaks, tests coming up, projects for you or your children, this is a great way to have an overview glance of what's coming up. So that's my year at a glance calendar. The second tracker I use in here is in my daily section, and it's this monthly tracker here. So the way I use it is on this side, I track different things that will affect my mood, because my mood is down here below this line. How many hours of sleep I got, if I do my morning routine, which is like basically washing up, doing my skincare, reading / journaling, going for a walk, or getting some kind of activity where I'm not just sitting at my desk all day, and then family time. So these are the main things I find that could affect my mood. Here I'm also putting some marks related to my period. So on the 3rd is exactly 2 weeks before my first day of my period. And so I mark it here in a lighter highlighter color just to see if it'll affect my mood. And then here in the darker color highlighter is when my first day of my period should be. That could also affect my mood. So down here below this line, the 5 main moods I have are high energy, neutral, which is like good, you know, just middle of the road. Low energy, grumpy, and anxious is like the bottom for me. So when I go here, I see that I'm high energy, and then I see that I went really down here. So if I look here, I can see different things. 4 of these days are low energy, and I can see here I didn't read any of those days, which reading in the morning really helps to level up my mood. And so I can see that affected it. And then also I didn't track my sleep. Usually it's when I sleep really late that I forget. So I probably didn't get enough sleep those days. So I find this super helpful just for that insight for my mental health and physical health and all that. And then on the other side, I'm tracking some habits I'm trying to do. These mainly have to do with the business. I'm trying to build up these habits of posting on Instagram every day, posting an Instagram story every day. And then these here are like engaging in the community, checking out what you guys are doing, responding to comments, commenting on your guys' things and stuff like that. And I'm super bad at doing that, as you can see. I'll have a day where I do really good and then I slack off again. But I really want to get in the habit of doing that consistently. And then my next one is my yearly tracker. So I have actually 2 yearly trackers. This one is a fold out, and I do have the other side filled in, but I'm not going to show that on camera because it has personal information. But basically, on the other side is January through June. This side is July through December. And as you can see, it's a fold out. So it folds out to 3 pages for personal size. And what I use this for is for tracking my health stats. So every morning I do my health stats, which is my weight, my blood pressure, and my fasting blood glucose levels, which is for people with diabetes. And so every morning I mark that down. And the reason why I like using this insert for that is because this is something I need to track ongoing. It's not going to stop. It's not just like a month project. It's throughout the year. And I like to see my progress, you know, when I'm starting to fall off on my numbers, like not do as well. Logging it here helps act as a reminder, okay, get back on track. You've been slacking off for a few days, get back on track with that. And then at the end of the year, I have this full year's worth of information that can help inform my decisions going forward. I was trying to think of other ways you can use this besides health stats. Some other ways I thought of is if you wanted to log work hours on here or log like a savings on here, something where you want to log several times or many times throughout the month and then have a running tally of it or a comparison, or you just need to keep a log where it's helpful to have a year at a glance overview of that information. And then going along with the theme of health, I have this insert here. This is just something I made for myself for my personal use, but maybe you might find this idea helpful in your own tracking. So I made this insert to track my blood glucose levels for diabetes for different meals and snacks and stuff that I'm testing to see how it affects my blood glucose. And so here, for example, coffee. I drink my coffee black or with half and half and a little bit of sugar, or like a full on caramel macchiato from Starbucks. And so I would list those out and I would test it 7 times. I just chose that arbitrary number. I feel like testing out for a whole week would give me helpful information. And then I could take that average number and then say, okay, black coffee is good, Starbucks caramel macchiato is not good. Other ways you can use this kind of concept is like if you have something that you're trying to test out, let's say if you have chronic headaches and you're trying to see, does caffeine have an effect on the intensity or frequency of my headaches? And you can test it. Okay, for 7 days, I'm not going to drink coffee, and mark it here and then see, oh, did that help my headaches or did it not make a difference at all? So that's just an idea I had for a way to use this kind of concept, that if you have something that you're testing out and you need to test it out over a period of time, like a week or a few days, then this would be a good way to track it. My next tracker also has to do with health and wellness. This is our yearly tracker, and I track my health appointments on here. Not only mine, but mine, my husband's, and my kids. So I'm just tracking different things like when I get lab work done, when I see the doctor, eye exams, vaccines, same thing for my husband, same thing for my kids on the back. So basically what I do is I just write down the date. Like the last time we all did our dentist appointments was on January 27th. So then I know 6 months down the line, I had to schedule our next set of appointments. So I know you can have all of that like on your Google Calendar or whatever digital calendar you use, but I like having it here because it's super handy to have it all on one place. I don't have to go searching for it. So another way this insert could be helpful is for tracking bills. So you can list your monthly bills down the side and then check them off as you pay them, or especially if you have some kind of bill or some kind of, let's say you have to do your oil change every 3 months, is it? You can mark it here, not only that you did it, but as a reminder that it has to be done. The last idea I had for this insert and a way that I was using it before is for my friends and family plan. Basically what the friends and family plan for me is I would list out friends and family that I don't see regularly, and then I would mark here if I reached out to them somehow. So if I see my cousin, let's say, I don't see my cousins all the time, I don't talk to them all the time, but I do want to reach out and keep in touch. So I would put their name here and then be like, oh, it's been a while since I reached out to so-and-so. Let me give her a call or get together for coffee or something like that. That's super helpful to track here on this insert. So the last 3 things that I track in my planner are kind of specific to my circumstance, or if you're a content creator or a shop owner, you might find this helpful, but if not, you might still find some ideas that can relate to you personally. So the first one is tracking my revenue streams. So basically, I like to track weekly what I'm bringing in on each of my revenue streams, which is the main shop, the Etsy shop, the Amazon like storefront, and YouTube AdSense. And then I have a space here to add anything like I hope to build up the blog again, so blog could go there. For us, we have weekly goals that we want to hit. And so at the end of each week, I like to see where we stand so we can make adjustments as needed. Because for me, if I wait until the end of the month, sometimes that's too late to do anything about it. So I like to do it week by week. I left the headers blank so you can use it for any kind of thing that you want to track on a weekly basis with a total at the end. This is for weekly tracking, and then I have one for monthly tracking. I do have these all filled out back here, but obviously it has personal information, so I'm showing you blank copies. But this is the business tracker, so this is for monthly tracking of our revenues. So these same headings would go here, and then I would mark for the month of January how much we made, the month of February, and so on, all the way through December. And this is super, super helpful to have as a snapshot, because obviously we have like spreadsheets and things on the computer to track these things in more details, but this is a great overview to have at a glance where I can easily access that information. So besides revenue, I also track expenses, not all our expenses. I like to track more variable expenses, not the fixed bills and stuff like that. So things I track are like supplies or shipping or things I buy like artwork, things that kind of can vary from month to month. I like to track it here so I can see where we are on average. So income and expenses are pretty standard when you're tracking this kind of thing. But for this insert, I left it blank on the back so you could add in your own categories. So for me, the categories are our monthly subs. So I like to track, okay, do we have more subs this month? Do we have less subs? And we have different subs. So stationery, sticker kit, etc., etc. And then this category that I track is for social media stats. So Instagram, YouTube, the blog, even email. I track our stats for those just because I like to see, are we continually growing? Are we stagnant? Do we need to do more to engage and stuff like that? So I find that super helpful. You can use this to track anything that you like. business or personal. For me, I want to use this for my personal expenses as well. I want to track certain variable personal expenses like eating out, entertainment, stuff like that. And I feel like that information is super helpful at the end of each month to see where we're spending too much and then try to spend less the following month. And then the last tracker I use is this content tracker. So this is something fairly new that I started using. Basically, what I do is for every video, like recently I just did a planning hacks video. So here's YouTube, I did a YouTube video. Then I want to take that information and create content in all of these other different platforms because not everybody likes watching YouTube videos. Maybe somebody prefers an Instagram reel where it's like super quick, easy to the point. And so I'll create an Instagram reel. This one should be TikTok. When I make an Instagram reel, I just basically repost that over on TikTok. Then I want to write a blog post about it. I would promote that blog post over on Pinterest. I would promote it over on Facebook, and then putting it all together in an email so you guys can click on the things that interest you. This is just a great way for me to track if I put it out across all these platforms. So yeah, those were my 8 things that I track in my planner. If you have any other ways that you track in your planner, please share them in the comments below so we can get more ideas of things we could track in our planners. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.